Meggie Kay, and today I'm going to be talking about adrenaline activities. If you watch my channel, you will know that I just spent the last year in New Zealand, and New Zealand's kind of known for all of these crazy adrenaline adventure activities, and I did like all of them. If I missed one, I don't know which one I missed. Please let me know in the comments if I missed a major adrenaline activity that you can do in New Zealand, because I think I did all of them. So I thought I would break all of them down and let you know whether it was just as exciting as it's made out to be. Was it worth the money? Because if you watched my last video, these activities are not cheap. I don't think there's anything under $150. Like, they're expensive to do. So was it worth the money? So yeah, I'm gonna go through all the activities I did, give them a little bit of a score, and yeah, let's do it. The bungee jump, and you can do bungees all throughout New Zealand. I did mine in Auckland off of the Auckland Bridge. It was 40 meters, so it wasn't like the longest or highest. I don't know how you measure bungees. But it wasn't like the biggest one. But it also, I don't think it was the smallest one either. 40 meters was alright for me doing my very first bungee. The actual bungee, and where the terrifyingness came in and all of the adrenaline came, not when you're actually jumping or whatever, but it was the second they throw the bungee cord over the edge. Because you're there, your feet are bound, like your ankles are bound together, and you're kind of like walking like a duck out to the edge, and then they will toss the bungee cord over the side so that like when you jump, the bungee goes with you and it's not like caught on anything. Thing is, bungee cords aren't light, they're actually pretty heavy, and you're standing at the edge and you're not ready to jump yet, and you feel that weight, and it's almost like, it almost feels like it's gonna pull you down when you're not ready to go, which is terrifying. And like I like stumbled back a bit, and that's when like my heart was just like racing. And then you just kind of like, it's the cool thing about the bungee is that you really have to like just like go all in, and you just have to do it, and it's like your legs, at least my legs, were like shaking as I was like about to jump. And it's like they count you down and whatever else, but then it's like even after they count you down, I'm just there for a minute, and then I'm like, okay. I had to go after the countdown was finished. They're like an extra second, because it's just like really building up the courage to like jump off head first down. The really awkward part is that like after you like your bungee's gone and whatever, you're like, you can reach up and there's like a little release cord so that your feet can become unbound and you're not pulled up like a fish hanging upside down. That was hard for me to reach, and if you look back at the video, I'm like struggling to get the cord. Thankfully I got it after a while, but I'm just like there upside down not knowing what to do because I can't reach the cord to release my feet and like sit upright. So bungee was fun. The only thing that kind of sucks about bungees is that they're over really quickly. Like, it is a, 4-second thing, you're done, and then you're just kind of like sitting there going up. So with that in mind, I would say it's like a 3.5 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5, because it is, and like my legs were shaking, and then you just kind of like get this rush about it. But it's over so quickly, like it doesn't continue anything. So like 3.5. 3.5, it's maybe if it was like longer, maybe if I did the Nevis, it might be a bit more. But yeah. So next up is the canyon swing, and I am putting this out there right now. This was my favorite. It was amazing. Absolutely. I would go back all the way to New Zealand to do this again. Like, so much fun. So if you don't know what a canyon swing is, especially, I don't know, they might have them in other countries, but at least in New Zealand, the shoot over canyon swing in Queenstown is basically like you're in a canyon, hence the name canyon swing. And it's similar to a bungee, but you drop a bit and then you swing out. So yeah, like a bungee on steroids, and there's not the like the jolting up and down. It's like you fall, swing out, and then they like will raise you back up. So the cool thing about the one in New Zealand, and like specifically the one in Queenstown, this one, is that you can go over in the craziest ways ever. So the jumps that I did was first the chair. That was my number one. If I do any kind of jump off this canyon, it'll be the chair, because you know when you're a kid and you're in elementary school and you're like tipping back on your chair, and then you like tip a little bit too far and then it feels like your life is about to end? It's doing that off of a cliff, and you actually do go tumbling over. And yeah, so that was the one I wanted to do, and it was amazing. This one, you actually like tumble a bit. Like it's not like, oh, you fall. You actually like, yeah, it tumbled. I was like all disoriented, and it was pretty awesome. I also did a second jump, and this one I did the pin drop, because they kind of ranked this as like the scariest. And basically your like hands, you just kind of put your hands behind your back and you're like feet together, all really close, and then you kind of like just hop off the side and you're like the straight line and you fall. Personally, I thought the chair was scarier than the pin drop, and maybe that's just my personal background and the issues and traumatic experiences I had from childhood leaning back on chairs. But the other really fun thing about the canyon swing is that these guys that work there, they will fuck with you. You're on the edge, about to go over, and they'll like pull you back up. They did that when I was on the chair. I'm like going over, and you can feel like, oh, this is the moment I'm gonna tip over all the way. And they'll grab your harness and they'll pull you back up. They did it 3 times. And you can see like when I actually go over, I'm kind of like caught off guard because they pulled me back a little bit, but not enough to like land again. I went over.
Yeah. Sorry, are you guys? Oh.
So I think that's one of the reasons why I think it was even more fun, is that the people that work there and the staff that kind of put it on, like they have fun with you and they'll fuck with your head and make it even more fun than if it was just like, you know, the bungee where they're just like, okay, jump. And they kind of just wait there for you a bit. So my rating for the canyon swing is 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. And it was, yeah, like I said, it was my favorite. It was amazing. If you do anything in Queenstown, do the canyon swing. It is like the bungee on steroids. I mean, I didn't do the Nevis, so maybe the Nevis is like the most amazing thing ever, but the canyon swing, amazing. Awesome, do it. I have never heard someone who like completely thought it was the worst experience ever. So, yeah. Finally, I'm gonna be talking about skydiving, and skydiving is very, very big in New Zealand. It's very big all over the place. I did mine in Franz Joseph. It was amazing. And the thing is, when it comes to skydiving, is that it's an adrenaline activity and you're like jumping out of planes and it's crazy. But really, you need to be aware and take into consideration the surroundings and what you're actually jumping over, because you're gonna be falling for a while. Now, I kind of knew this, and I wanted to make sure I jumped over something that I wanted to like see and look at from this high up. So I did it in Franz Joseph, and the really cool thing and like my favorite thing about jumping in Franz Joseph was that on one side of me I had the mountains. I had Mount Cook. I could see Mount Cook, the tallest mountain in New Zealand, and on the other side I saw the Tasman Sea. So you got right ocean to mountains, and I love that. Mountains are like my favorite type of landscape. I love the mountains, and so that's why I wanted to do it. And it was totally worth the view. Now, in terms of the actual like adrenaline, yeah, it was super scary at first, but after a while it was just like, oh, my face is being like smushed, and like tears started forming because of the wind. So it was really fun, and it did have that like adrenaline thing, but really what you do the skydive for is the view. So that you just keep that in mind when you do skydiving. So for the skydive, I will give it a 4 out of 5 because, like I said, yeah, there's that bit of adrenaline and holy shit, you're jumping out of a plane, but really it's all about the view. And I had a pretty sick view. At least it was like my favorite view I could possibly get. So yeah, 4 out of 5. So that's it, that's my list. The number 1 favorite canyon swing, then the skydive, then the bungee. So if you're going to New Zealand or anywhere in the world where you have these kind of activities, those were my takes on it. And yeah, let me know what you think about this and what your like opinion is and how you would rank them. Because like I know a lot of people who like hated the skydive and like would never do that in a million years but love bungees, and then I have other people who wouldn't do a bungee but like is totally up for a skydive. So I'm always up for all of it. I love it. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. And so yeah, I want to know what you guys think about all these activities, if you've done them. If you're going to New Zealand, what are you most excited about out of the ones I listed? And yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe for more travel adventures. Bye! Hey, I'm Meggie Kay, and a few weeks ago on one of my videos, someone commented asking about the prices for things in New Zealand and a little bit more detail on budget. So I thought I would make a whole video just about kind of budgeting and the prices of things that I found in New Zealand, because New Zealand is kind of known for being an expensive country to travel.